Coming up next on this edition of In the City, Boro Beach opens and we talk with the aquatics coordinator on opening day. Also, Meals on Wheels is a Murfreesboro community partner housed in St. Clair Street Senior Center, offering a great service. Plus, Murfreesboro Fire Rescue uses a house for a much-needed training. And Mayor McFarland urges everyone to contact the state agency about the landfill expansion. We'll tell you all about those stories and more coming up right now on this edition of In the City. Welcome to another edition of In the City, your source for what's happening right here in the city of Murfreesboro. I'm Michael Linn White. Unfortunately, Boro Beach was late opening its 2021 season due to some emergency repairs. We were there on Facebook Live on opening day.
Good morning, Murfreesboro. I'm Michael Linn White, and we are here live at Boro Beach, where today is the first day. Now, there's been a little delay, but they're open now. It's a beautiful sunny day, and here to tell us all about everything is Aquatics Coordinator Kyle Goss. Good morning, Kyle.
Thank you. Good morning.
We've got our shades on. It's sunny. There are people in the pool. This is good.
It's great. We're glad to get people back in here. You know, we had a loss last year due to COVID. We lost most of this year due to some construction issues, but the contractors finished that up yesterday afternoon for us, and we opened up 10 a.m. like normal today.
Okay, well, I know a lot of people are wondering why it took so long, so why don't you just tell a little bit? Y'all did not expect this.
No, we did not. So I think it was late March we started working on a construction issue in the bathroom. We had some drainage issues in the showers we were trying to make sure we got taken care of before we opened up out here. That project started, and then we realized that we had a major issue happen. The main return line for the back half of the building, that is the wet locker rooms for the men's, women's, family room, out by our boiler in another room, was completely shot. Like it would not drain. There's just shards everywhere, metal pieces, so that became a major issue where they had to cut out the entire floor. We had essentially like 4-foot deep tunnels running everywhere. It's definitely not something we wanted to happen, especially at that time, but we had to do it out of necessity.
So you had to do it, and then you had to just make sure that everything was working and safe.
Yeah. No, we had the contractors come in. They did a great job making sure everything was done right, up to code. We had the inspectors out weekly making sure everything is fixed properly so it won't be a future issue.
It's good. Okay, well, you're open now, and you still plan to close on Labor Day. So tell us the hours and times now that it's open.
So all of our schedule and all that is on our Facebook. It's posted there. We have it on our website that you can go check us out on. But right now we are open 10 to 6:30 Monday through Friday, 10 to 4:30 on Saturday, and 1 to 6 on Sunday. And definitely come out this week. It's supposed to get up to, I think, 97, 98 was the last I heard.
Yes.
It'll be a great place to cool off.
The perfect place. It's so hard for me not to want to go jump in right now.
Do it.
Kyle, we're so happy that it's finally open.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people here today on the opening day. And we've got concessions here, music.
Yes.
So
We got the music playing. The concessions are in there. They have the grill fired up. They have slushies, ices, snacks, everything that you would need for a good time.
We're excited. What's the admission price?
$5 a kid, $7 an adult.
Okay, good. Well, we're glad that it's finally open. No issues. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Murfreesboro. I'm Michael Linn White, CityTV.
The city of Murfreesboro has many community partners they work hand in hand with. One is housed in St. Clair Street Senior Center, and it couldn't be a better fit.
A hot meal and a good friend are two of life's greatest enjoyments. Meals on Wheels has been providing both for more than 40 years. The local chapter in Rutherford County finds its home in the city of Murfreesboro's St. Clair Street Senior Center.
The Senior Center here has been awesome. We partnered with them years ago. We used their kitchen, their dining room, and I think it's where we need to be. You know, this is a perfect place for us. Mark, the center director, has been wonderful, and he comes back and checks on us, and it's been a very wonderful partnership. Our food company brings the food in the morning in the big steam table pans, And then we have the little, kind of like a TV dinner kind of a tray that we actually hand dip. The only really machine that we have is one that we seal it with the plastic over the top of the hot seal. And then we put the meals in coolers with hot packs. And of course the milk and the dessert or whatever goes in a different cooler. So my volunteers will have 2 coolers to take out with them. The routes take about an hour and a half. Some of them I've got go way out. They take 2. And then the volunteers come back and drop their coolers off, and we start over the next day.
This is actually my first year doing it. The reason was my wife thought it would be a good idea and signed me up. Like everything else, her doing that, it's turned into a blessing and something that I look forward to doing every week. It gives me a purpose. You know, the fact that hits home with me is sometimes I might be the only person they see that day. You know, taking that little extra time to speak to them, ask them how their day is and stuff like that. My helper is my granddaughter. Once I put the hot stuff in the bag, she takes over with the cool cooler, and I'm not to touch that one. So that's her job.
It makes me feel good because I'm sharing with other people.
Well, it means everything, because I don't know what I'd eat without it. And I love the volunteers. Some of them I just really feel close to. You know, because a lot of times they will bring me an extra meal, and I'll always say, sure, I'll take it, because I put it up in the freezer. I'll eat it that night for supper, or maybe on the weekend when I don't get anything. So it's just fantastic.
Bottom line is you have to be 60 or older, and we have this evaluation. Since COVID, we have been doing those evaluations over the phone. Anybody that would love to do this, please call me. I get tickled. People come in here to volunteer and they'll say, I'm here, I want to help, I want to help. And they do, but it's not hardly any time before they come back and they say, you know what, this has helped me more than I've helped them. It's an awesome program.
The Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department are offered houses to conduct live fire training in them, but most can't be used for a number of reasons.
The Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department got a rare opportunity when an owner of a house that was wanting to demolish the structure turned it over to the department for much needed training.
It's very good training for our young firefighters and our older firefighters. You know, there's a lot of things that we're working on here today. One being, of course, organization. 2 being, accounting for each individual firefighter, captains. The next one is teaching young firefighters pulling lines, search and rescue, getting to the base of the fire, extinguishing the fire. We're trying to create as much realistic conditions as we would on a structure that we would enter anywhere in the city of Murfreesboro. So we actually have burn barrels inside, barrels with hay in them that are smoking up. We have 2 rooms inside the house that we actually have pallets and hay that we're burning to create the heat and the smoke that we need for the visibility. But there's plenty of safety people with thermal imaging camera. A thermal imaging camera can see things that most people cannot see with their eyes. The use of radios and how you talk on the radio, proper search techniques, proper extinguishing techniques. So there's just a world of stuff. Not only that, we're teaching our company officers. They are always in charge of that scene first. So without proper walk around of the building, proper idea of where possibly the victims are trapped, fire conditions, smoke conditions, and what type of attack we will be using, they have to make those decisions really quickly on the fire ground. And then they have to pass that command off to a battalion chief coming onto the scene as quick as they get there. And once they get there, the battalion chief will handle the rest of the scene. So it's a teamwork atmosphere from the very start of the scene to the end. Our max temperature right now in this house is upwards around 500 degrees at ceiling height. At our training facility, we're reaching temperatures of 850, 950 degrees. So this is just more of a residential style. Each occupancy acts a little different depending on the fire behavior and the fire development.
The Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department did many modifications to the house to make sure they are not releasing anything harmful into the air.
By OSHA mandates and NFPA standards, we can't use anything but natural products, which is natural wood, natural straw. So there's no different than burning a pile of brush in your front yard. This house has been prepped, tested, and secured to make sure it has no products that would injure firefighters or any of the nearby residents.
When a structure is purposely burned in the city limits, there are a lot of criteria that goes into making that decision.
We've had plenty of opportunities in the past to burn different homes, but we didn't accept that responsibility due to the closeness, the construction, maybe a school's nearby, a daycare, anything that would affect the community. We won't accept that responsibility and have to demolish it with equipment. All of us at Murfreesboro Fire Department are extremely happy that we get opportunities like this to train in.
The possible expansion of the Middle Point landfill has been a hot topic recently. Mayor McFarland explains where it is in the process and how you can help.
The city of Murfreesboro and Rutherford County have been studying for years the issue of the Middle Point landfill reaching capacity and closing. What will solid waste look like going forward without a landfill in our county? Republic, which is the private company that manages the landfill, only recently requested to almost double the capacity of the landfill.
So to say that we were surprised by the expansion of the landfill proposal, I think it was something that surprised us because that's not been talked about for all these years.
Republic's request to expand the landfill must be approved at various levels of state and local government. The first entity to consider Republic's application was the Central Tennessee Region Solid Waste Board.
Murfreesboro and Rutherford County have 4 representatives that are on that board. That board has to decide whether the expansion request is fitting with our 10-year update in our, sort of where the direction that we're heading.
On Friday, July 9th, 2021, the board voted unanimously against the expansion of the landfill.
First time I've ever, in the 20 years of doing this, had a governmental meeting at 6 o'clock on a Friday night, but we all went to the courthouse, the Rutherford County Courthouse, and I can't tell you how proud that I was of specifically Donna Barrett and Darren Gore. Donna systematically went through and detailed on the things that, why that this expansion is not consistent with the direction that we've been heading, and I think fortunately the Central Tennessee Solid Waste Board voted that expansion request down. So now what a lot of people are asking, what's next? And the what's next is that disapproval is now sent to TDEC, and TDEC will now rule on whether the board voted in an arbitrary or capricious way. And I think Ms. Barrett went through her resolution to show why that it's not arbitrary and capricious. So those next steps are really up to TDEC now.
Mayor McFarland encourages citizens to contact TDEC to let them know they're not in favor of the landfill expansion. The contact person is manager of the Tennessee Division of Solid Waste Management, Mike Horsley. Phone 615-347-0615. Email mike.horsley@tn.gov. Looking at the future of a landfill-free county, the City Council voted to spend $55,000 to determine the economic viability of a waste-to-energy project with a company called Waste Away.
Takes municipal solid waste and it turns it into energy that can be used for fuel for different companies who are in manufacturing.
And as the slide up there says, the beginning of the end for landfills and deployment of a much needed renewable and sustainable energy source. How? Waste-away plants bring in raw garbage or single stream recyclables and send out a clean, high value solid fuel. For industry and power generators, this is all accomplished in less than 30 minutes, beneficially utilizing up to 90% of the solid waste that they process. So that's only 10% that has to go to the landfill. No odors or noise. All MSW is handled indoors, quickly processed. They are located in Morrison, Tennessee.
It's not fair for Murfreesboro or Rutherford County to take 70% outside trash and us have to deal with that not only for the next 6 years or 6.5 years until the landfill closes, but another 25 or 30 years, because I think it's important for us all to continue to be vigilant. I think it's important for us all to be informed and to make sure that we let the state know, and luckily we have such a good delegation of our state representatives and our state elected officials that have all come out in opposition to this expansion. But I think it's important to let TDEC and let anyone know where we stand as a community. So I thank everyone for staying informed. I thank CityTV3 for making sure and doing their part to keep everyone informed, and we're going to keep the fight on making sure that we do what's best for Murfreesboro and for Rutherford County.
The finance director for the city of Murfreesboro retires after 28 years on the job.
City of Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland read a resolution recognizing Finance Director Melissa Wright after announcing her retirement after 28 years with the city. She first worked with the city as its independent auditor for 10 years. She started with the city in 1993 as a chief accountant. In 2008, she took the position of city treasurer, city recorder, and also holds the title of finance director. Her department received 22 consecutive awards for the city's annual comprehensive report and 9 awards for the budget presentation from the Government Finance Officers Association.
The resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage and adoption, the public welfare and the welfare of the city requiring it. Can I get a motion and a second, please? For this?
Amen, for sure. And I'll make a motion we approve that resolution.
I'll second. A motion and a second. Can we please vote on this in acclamation, please? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Melissa, we love you.
Present and past city employees gathered at City Hall to wish Melissa a happy retirement. The mayor addressed the crowd.
I was seeing several of the other retirees that, in the pictures as we're seeing those come across, and realized how many good people that we have that have worked at the city over the last, 30 and 40 years, and being a relatively new city growing as much as we have over the last 50 years, looking at the people who've been here for 30, 35, and 40 years. So it's an inside joke, but when I first got elected to mayor, about the first 2 meetings, Melissa called me. She'd call the roll, and she'd get to the end, she'd go, "Mayor Bragg." And I just so it's going to be, the shoe's changing now, so it's going to be really hard to say Miss Brown every time that I call the roll. But we've had some really good employees who have been here at the city. I don't think I can remember one person who at any given time always would put the city of Murfreesboro first. It wouldn't matter if you were here on a Saturday. It wouldn't matter if we're signing an emergency proclamation or emergency resolution in March. Melissa was always there. I think I can speak for the council, and I can speak for your team who's here. You always put your employees in the city first, and now you get the opportunity to maybe flip that around, and you get to continue to put your family first, your grandkids. So I'm trying not to cry.
I know you want to cry.
The only thing that we could think that you haven't gotten is the key to the city.
Wow. I just want to say it's been an honor working for the hometown I grew up in, working with great people. Every department has people that has helped me, that has been there for me when I needed them, that has returned information, and I just keep looking around and I see more retirees that I've enjoyed working with. I just think we have a great city, we have a great council, we have people who care about our citizens, but everything that's done is done to make the city better and to make their life and quality of life better. So I'm just proud to be a part of that, and I'm not going anywhere, so I tell Raymond if I see a pothole, I'll give him a call. So, y'all are super, and my staff is very special to me. So thank you. Thank you so much. I'm blown away.
One of the highlights of the Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department is being able to host the Tennessee Fire Chiefs Convention, especially after it was canceled last year.
The Tennessee Fire Chiefs' 53rd Annual Conference was held right here in Murfreesboro at Embassy Suites. Fire chiefs from all over the state come to network with other cities and counties. Numerous exhibits were set up to show the latest equipment in the firefighting industry. We were there for the opening ceremony where Murfreesboro's fire chief and city mayor came to welcome the attendees.
If what we've been through for the last 2 years, it's just common of what we've had to do, it is absolutely great to see you all. It is great to be among friends and leaders of the fire service out there. It is great to be with our allies, with our government, and be in the great city of Murfreesboro. I love the fact that we have standing room only. It makes my heart so glad to be here.
We, on behalf of the more than 240 members of Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department, we welcome you. And real quick, I'm going to take a moment to brag just on our personnel. I can't say enough about the men and women of Murfreesboro Fire Rescue and what they do for our community every day and to make our fire department what it is. And when you see an organization almost exclusively, almost wholesale, put self aside and put self in the back seat and do what is best for the community and all of our citizens and best for what is best for the department, it's amazing to see what can happen when that happens. And we've had amazing results out of that with our staff and our personnel. I want to quickly ask them to either raise their hand or stand if they're sitting. On behalf of the city of Murfreesboro, I couldn't do more to welcome you.
People look at y'all just like my 8-year-old, and they respect everything that you do. And so I contend that as we move forward, it's going to be more important for our emergency service responders and our first responders to really show that kindness and careness that you have and that you show all the time. Leadership is not what you do when everybody's watching. Leadership's what you do when no one's watching you. And I'm proud to know that when I go to bed at night that we've got the men and women of the Murfreesboro Fire Department, Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue Department, and our police department that I don't have to worry about what they're doing when people are not watching, and I know it's the same in y'all's community. So I want to tell you thank you for being here in Murfreesboro. More importantly, I want to tell you thank you for what you do.
Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee Foundation is building Blue Cross Healthy Spaces throughout Tennessee. Murfreesboro was one of the lucky cities to receive one at Barfield Crescent Park. Here's the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Well, good morning. I want to welcome you to Murfreesboro and to Barfield Crescent Park as we celebrate the addition of a great amenity to our parks and recreation system in Murfreesboro. A lot of work and a lot of collaboration has gone into what we're going to celebrate today. We want to thank the collaboration between our wonderful Parks and Recreation group, the work that they put together to bring this to fruition, but also the corporate community that came and saw a need and provided the resources for us to have this amenity in our community today. I want to celebrate what it means. I had an opportunity this last week with my grandbaby who was visiting from out of town, and we were looking for a place to go and to enjoy each other. And we went to just about every park and recreation facility in Murfreesboro, and I can't tell you what a great time of creating memories with that child. So I know that there'll be lots of memories that will be created for grandchildren and for parents and their children here on this great facility.
At Blue Cross, we believe that well-being is about more than just physical health. And the global pandemic has reinforced how important outdoor spaces are. Turns out that was the safe place to be. And they're important to get active, but also to connect to people. People connections matter. It matters for a healthy community. These communal spaces, they build relationships and they strengthen community bonds, and they're a part of overall health, both mental and physical. That's why the Blue Cross Foundation is building active, healthy spaces in communities all across Tennessee. These Blue Cross Healthy Places, represent our commitment to improving the well-being of people and communities we serve. By the end of the year, we hope to have 17 of these parks opened across the state, and they vary in size and what they offer, but they all are inclusive and made for everyone. That's why we're excited to be here at this opening of the 8th Blue Cross Healthy Place here at Barfield Crescent Park in Murfreesboro. Thank you all for your shared commitment to improving the health and well-being of your neighbors. We're grateful to be a part of this special day, and we're looking forward to great things ahead as this Blue Cross Healthy Place becomes a part of the fabric of Murfreesboro.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Murfreesboro Police Department now has more officers certified in car seat safety installation to help keep the community safe. Over 70% of child safety seats are installed incorrectly, and the instructions on how to do it can be confusing. That's why Murfreesboro Police Department hosts an in-depth training and installation of child seats event to serve the community.
If you hear about one of these checkup events, all you have to do is show up. It's great if you can bring the child with you. That way we can make sure the harness fits the child correctly, make sure the child's riding in the correct seat. And older children, we can talk to them about the importance of staying buckled and why they need to ride in that seat.
Murfreesboro Police now have 12 child passenger safety technicians. Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue also have trained technicians, but say police officers can see child seat issues before there's a problem.
One of the firefighters in this class actually said that when they get on scene and they're cutting the people out of the car, it's too late. That our officers have an advantage because they're out in the public motoring around and they can see things and prevent it. So that's why we want to get in on the prevention intervention level.
Sergeant Amy Denton says there is more to installing a child safety seat than you might think, and that it's critical to make sure it's installed correctly. And if you can't make a drive-up event, you can always call and schedule an appointment.
Somebody can help you. We can come to you anywhere in the city, or you can come here, so we can help you make sure that your child is riding as safely as possible.
Sergeant Denton says Tennessee requires the minimum amount of protection, so if you need help or are unsure of anything with your child safety seat, just give them a call.
If you're still struggling, or even if you just want to make sure, let us know and we'll help you out.
Well, that's it for this edition of In the City. As always, for more information about the city of Murfreesboro or any of the stories you've seen here, you can always visit our website at www.murfreesborotn.gov. And if you want to see any of the stories that you've seen today or catch up on some of the latest city news, you can always visit the City of Murfreesboro's YouTube channel. Before we close, an art exhibit in the rotunda of Murfreesboro City Hall is on display through August 26th called Rhythm and Resonance, Expressionism in Stereo. Here's a sneak peek of some of the work on display. I'm Michael Linn White, and until next time, we look forward to seeing you in the city.